Kindness is often spoken as something we give to others, like a gesture, a word, a moment of patience when it would be easier to rush or judge. And while kindness towards others matters deeply, it's often the kindness we extend to ourselves that determines how we move through the world. Most people are far harder on themselves than they would ever be on someone they care. They replay mistakes long after the moment has passed. They criticize their own efforts, question their worth, and measure themselves by impossible standards. In doing so, they forget that growth was never meant to be harsh, it was meant to be human. Being kind to yourself does not mean lowering expectations or avoiding responsibility. It means recognizing effort, even when the outcome falls short. It means allowing room to learn without turning every misstep into a verdict on your character. Self-kindness is not indulgence, it is sustainability. We understand this instinctively when it comes to others. When someone we care about struggles, we offer understanding. We remind them that progress takes time. We encourage them to keep going. Rarely do we tell them they are broken or unworthy because they stumbled. Yet internally, many people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak out loud to anyone else. Kindness toward yourself begins with awareness. It starts by noticing the tone of your inner voice and asking whether it's helping or harming. Judgment rarely produces growth. Compassion paired with honesty does. When you treat yourself with kindness, you create an environment where improvement feels possible rather than overwhelming. This doesn't mean ignoring difficult truths. Kindness can be firm. It can acknowledge what needs to change without turning that realization into self-attack. You can hold yourself accountable while still respecting your own humanity. In fact, accountability rooted in kindness is far more effective than discipline rooted in shame. The way you treat yourself in private shapes how you show up in public. When you practice self-kindness, patience naturally extends outward. You become more understanding of others' struggles because you have learned to honor your own. Kindness becomes less of an effort and more of a reflection of how you live. There will be days when kindness feels difficult, especially after disappointment, failure, or unmet expectations. Those are the moments when it matters most. Kindness in those moments is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about allowing yourself to be imperfect without withdrawing care. Life moves quickly. It rarely pauses to let you catch up. Being kind to yourself is a way of slowing down internally, of reminding yourself that progress is not erased by a single hard day. It's a way of choosing patience over pressure, understanding over criticism. Kindness does not make you weaker, it makes you steadier. It allows you to continue rather than collapse. It keeps you engaged with your own growth instead of turning away from it. And perhaps most importantly, kindness reminds you that you are worthy of the same care you so freely offer others. Not because you have everything figured out, but because you're still trying. When kindness becomes part of how you treat yourself, the world feels less demanding and more navigable. You begin to move forward not through force, but through respect. And in that quiet shift, everything changes. There are times in life when everything feels still. Not peaceful stillness, but the kind that makes a person feel as if they're caught in a place, stuck between where they are and where they wish they could be. It's a quiet kind of struggle, one that doesn't always show on the outside. See, on the surface, life can look normal. Responsibilities are met, routines are followed, and days continue to move forward. But internally, something feels stalled. Something feels numb. You're stuck. Feeling stuck is more common than most people realize. It shows up in different ways and in different seasons of life. Sometimes it begins with routine, the same mornings, the same tasks, the same patterns repeated day after day. The autopilot takes over. Instead of living, a person begins to simply move through their days, checking boxes and fulfilling obligations without much purpose or passion. The world keeps spinning, but internally, nothing seems to shift. Other times, feeling stuck comes from uncertainty. Someone may know they want more fulfillment, direction, or meaning, but they have no idea where to start. The path forward seems foggy. Every possible step feels overwhelming. Instead of moving, they freeze, waiting for clarity that never seems to arrive. There are also moments when people feel stuck because they've poured their energy into something that no longer excites them. Like a career that once inspired them now feels draining. A relationship that once brought joy now feels distant. A dream that once felt alive now feels unreachable. And even though they know something needs to change, the weight of that change feels heavy, almost impossible to carry. In each of these situations, the experience is similar. Life feels like it's happening in slow motion while everyone else seems to be moving forward. The desire for progress is there, but the momentum is not. The mind becomes filled with questions like, why am I not motivated? Why do I feel stuck when nothing is really wrong? Is something missing, or is something wrong with me? Feeling stuck isn't a sign of failure. It's a part of the human experience. It's a signal, a quiet whisper from within that something needs attention. It might be a need for rest, a need for change, a need to reconnect with a part of yourself that's been lost beneath the weight of routine. Feeling stuck doesn't mean a person is broken. It means they've reached a point in their journey where something deeper is asking to be heard. And there is something important hidden inside the experience. The feeling of being stuck is temporary. Just as seasons shift, so do people. What feels motionless today often becomes the foundation for growth tomorrow. Stillness can create space. Space can create clarity. And clarity can create movement. Sometimes progress begins in the smallest moments, not in major life changes, but in gentle shifts. Like a new habit, a single conversation, a walk outdoors, a moment of honesty with oneself. A willingness to question whether the current path still matches the person you're becoming. These subtle steps can slowly loosen the grip of stagnation and help life begin to move again. It's also important to remember that no one is alone in this experience. Everyone at some point feels stuck. Everyone questions their direction. Everyone moves through seasons where motivation fades and purpose feels distant. It doesn't make anyone weak. It makes them relatable, connected, and real. Life isn't meant to be a constant rush forward. There are times for action and times for stillness, times for growth and times for reflection, times when everything makes sense and times when nothing does. Feeling stuck is simply one of those times, a natural pause in the rhythm of being human. If you find yourself in a season like this, take a breath. Give yourself permission to feel it, to learn from it, and to trust that it will shift. Feeling stuck is just a moment that will pass, a moment that can teach, a moment that may be preparing them for something new. Before the world awakens, while the stars still hold the sky, a lone warrior rises. His armor is not forged of iron or steel, but of scars earned from battles fought in silence. His sword gleams not from fire, but from the countless times he's lifted it when his hand shook with doubt. Each day he stands at the edge of a battlefield unseen by others. A battlefield carved from the shadows of his own mind. And waiting for him there is the enemy within. The enemy has no face, no form. It is a whisper, a shadow, a weight pressing heavy on his chest. The enemy knows him better than anyone else ever could. It knows where he falters, where he hesitates, and where he feels weak. The enemy does not roar, it whispers. Stay down, rest a little longer. You'll never win. But the warrior knows the whispers well. He has heard them in the quiet hours of dawn, when the world is still and doubt grows loud. And so with steady hands, he lifts his sword. The clash begins. It is not the clang of metal on metal that fills the air, but rather the pounding of his own heart. Every swing is a choice. Every step forward is defiance. The enemy lunges with fear, and the warrior blocks with courage. The enemy strikes with despair, and he counters with hope. Some days the warrior drives the enemy back, standing tall as the sun rises. Other days the battle cuts deep, and the warrior falls to his knees, his sword heavy in his grasp. But even in those moments when defeat seems certain, he remembers the enemy within cannot truly win unless he surrenders. So the warrior rises. Always he rises. Day after day, the battle repeats. A cycle as endless as the turning of the earth. To the outside world, the warrior looks calm, composed, unshaken. They see his victories, but never the blood he sheds in silence. They do not hear the whispers he fights against. Yet within, he knows the truth. The greatest war is not fought with nations or crowns, but with doubts and fears that live in the human heart. And still, the warrior fights. The enemy grows clever, shifting forms. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's the heavy pull of despair. It waits for moments of weakness, for nights when exhaustion sets in, for mornings when hope feels thin, and always it whispers. But the warrior's resolve is forged in fire, for every scar is proof that he has stood in battle before and endured. Every sunrise is a reminder that he did not break. Every breath is defiance. Though the war is endless, the warrior understands something profound. The fight itself is victory. Each day he shows up. Each day he raises his sword. And each day he chooses to face the enemy rather than hide. He wins. The sun climbs, the shadows retreat, and the battlefield grows quiet once more. The enemy withdraws but never truly leaves. The warrior knows it will return tomorrow. And when it does, he will be there, armor scarred, sword steady, heart unbroken. He's the warrior that battles the enemy within. Hey, I know life can get loud. Deadlines, bills, stress, the messages that keep popping up on your phone, the thoughts that won't slow down when you're just trying to sleep. It's easy to feel like you're caught up in a storm, waves crashing around you. The wind is howling and everything around you is spinning out of control. And when you're in it, clarity feels impossible. You can't think straight, you can't see the bigger picture, you can barely catch your breath. But let me remind you that storms don't last forever. The calm that you're looking for, it's not found out there, it's inside of you already. You have the power to slow the wind, to calm the waves, not by controlling everything around you, but by controlling what's going on inside of you. Step 1, control the controllables. When the chaos hits, your mind wants to control everything, but that only makes the storm bigger. So instead, ask yourself, what's one thing that I can control right now? It might be slowing your breathing. It might be getting up 30 minutes earlier to start your day. It might be making a list of the most important things that you need to tackle. Small actions create small wins, and small wins start to build momentum. So step 2 is anchor yourself in the present. Anxiety loves to live in the future. Regret likes to live in the past. Calm likes to live in the present. When your mind races ahead to what could go wrong, pull it back with this simple question. Ask, what is true about this exact moment right now? You're here, you're breathing, you have survived every tough day up until this moment. That's the truth. Step 3 is reframe the storm. Sometimes the chaos is just life rearranging itself for you. The setback is teaching you resilience. The delay is teaching you patience. The loss is opening space for something new. You may not see the full reason right now, but one day you're going to look back and realize the storm wasn't breaking you, it was making you. Step 4, protect your mental space. In chaotic seasons, your mind is like a garden. The more weeds you let in, well, then the flowers can't grow. Be intentional with what you let in, the news you watch, the people you hang out with, the thoughts you entertain. Fill your space with voices that lift you higher. Fill your days with things that bring you peace. That's how you keep clarity alive, even when the world feels unclear. Here's the thing. Calm is not something you stumble across when life finally becomes perfect. It's a skill. It's a mindset. It's something that you build along the way, even in the middle of a storm. Because you are not the wind. You are not the waves, but you are the captain. And no matter how wild the storm gets, you have the ability to steer towards clarity. So take a deep breath. Decide what matters most. Let go of what you can't control and keep moving forward. The storm will pass, and when it does, you'll be stronger, you'll be clearer, and more grounded than you were before. People love setting goals. They're shiny, exciting, and they give us something to chase. But goals will let you down if you don't love the path that leads to them. Anyone can get hyped about a goal, losing 20 pounds, making 6 figures, writing a book. Problem is, goals live in the future, but the path is what you wake up to every single day. And if you hate your path, if every step feels like punishment, you'll never stick with it long enough to reach the finish line. That's why discipline fades for so many people. They're chasing an outcome, but resenting the process. And when that feeling gets strong enough, they quit. Not because they couldn't reach the goal, but because they couldn't stand the path that was supposed to get them there. Discipline isn't about pushing harder. It's about setting up a path you're willing to walk day in, day out. That means building a routine that fits your life, your energy, and your values. Not someone else's plan and not what looks cool on social media. Let's say your goal is to get fit. That's great. But are you picking a path you can stick to? Because if you're forcing yourself to do 6 a.m. workouts when you're not a morning person, or eating like a robot with zero joy, how long do you think that will last? Probably not long. Instead, ask, what path makes sense for me? Maybe you love late night gym sessions. Maybe your version of eating clean still includes pizza once a week. That's okay. The best path is the one that you'll keep walking. Because the path isn't just the way to your goal, it becomes your life. If you want to write a book, don't fall in love with being an author, fall in love with writing every day. If you want to run a marathon, don't chase the finish line. Fall in love with lacing up your shoes, with the training, with the early mornings and sore legs. You don't need to be obsessed, but you do need to respect the process. You need to set up habits that align with your real life, not just your dream outcome. Here's something people forget. Goals give you the direction, but your path gives you momentum. And that momentum is what creates discipline. Because every small step reinforces your identity. When you walk your path consistently, you begin to say, this is who I am. This is what I do. And that identity shift is where real discipline comes from. Not from forcing yourself, but from seeing yourself as someone who follows through. You have to find joy in the process. When you learn to enjoy the path, even the hard parts, you stop waiting for the goal to make you feel good. You start to find the pride in your journey itself, and that's the game changer. Because now success isn't some faraway thing, it's something you get to feel today just by showing up. So if your discipline has been fading, maybe it's not that you're weak. Maybe it's that you've been focusing too much on the goal and not enough on the path. Step back and ask yourself, does this path support the life I want to live? Am I building something I can maintain? Can I enjoy the steps, not just the outcome? If the answer is no, then adjust the path. Don't throw away the vision, just change how you're walking toward it. Because lasting discipline doesn't come from chasing harder. It comes from walking your path one step at a time and trusting that every step matters. Not just because of where it's going, but because of who you're becoming along the way. Life is hard. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to set you free. Because once you accept the reality, you stop waiting for things to get easy. And you start choosing the kind of hard that leads somewhere worth going. Working out is hard, but so is feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. Saving money is hard, but so is living paycheck to paycheck. Having tough conversations is hard, but so is bottling everything up and letting resentment eat away at you. You see, the idea that you can avoid pain by doing nothing is a lie. Because if you don't pick your hard, life will pick it for you. And the hard that life picks usually comes with regret. It's regret for what you didn't start, regret for who you didn't become, regret for knowing deep down you had more in you, but you let fear or comfort keep you still. Now, choosing your hard doesn't mean your life becomes a constant struggle. It means you become intentional. It means you understand that growth isn't supposed to feel easy. It means you stop blaming the world for your circumstances and start owning your path forward. Look, no one wakes up excited to face discomfort. But the people who build great things in their bodies, their relationships, their businesses, their minds, they have one thing in common. They stopped asking for it to be easy. They started asking, is this hard worth it? And when the answer is yes, that's when your life starts to change. You stop skipping workouts. You stop making excuses for a job you hate. You stop staying quiet when you know you should speak up. Because now you know that comfort comes with a price. It costs you your potential. It costs you your confidence. It costs you the pride that only comes from showing up when you didn't feel like it. But understand though that hard doesn't last forever. Eventually the workouts get easier. The discipline becomes routine and the uncomfortable conversations bring peace. But only if you pick your hard and stick with it. So ask yourself, what pain am I avoiding that's just keeping me stuck in another kind of pain? Or what challenge am I postponing, hoping it magically disappears? Because it won't, and the longer you wait to choose your hard, the more you are living on someone else's terms. Everything doesn't have to change in a day, but you need to start somewhere. Pick one thing you've been putting off and lean into it. The kind of hard that stretches your mind, strengthens your discipline, and sharpens your character. Because when you look back years from now, you won't remember how tired you were. You won't remember how sore or scared you felt. You'll remember that you chose to take control of your life, and that made all the difference. So no, life's not easy, but you do get to choose your hard. And when you choose it with purpose, when you face it with courage, and when you walk into it with your head high, you don't just survive it, you become stronger because of it. And that strength becomes your story. That becomes your freedom. And that's worth every step.